What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Climate Update for Thursday, July 27th, 2023. If you are in the heat, which is really extreme, I hope you are trying to keep cool. The heat index today here on my Davis weather station, so far I believe I saw 108 degrees. And this is the Davis Vantage View Pro 2. This is not like some kiddie weather station that is not usually accurate. This is one that's known to be more accurate, and I'm looking right now. It is still a heat index of 102 outside. It's 92 degrees here, northeast Philly, and I know many places are having heat indexes higher, if not much higher than this across the country. It has been an exceptionally hot summer for many. This is the hottest heat wave that we've had so far here in the Northeast. Take a look at the satellite picture for today. You can see here, there is this large weather system which is ongoing from Maine all the way back into the Ohio Valley. And there are several different moving parts, and there are severe thunderstorm watches up out ahead of this system. We also see another system down in Florida, which is providing clouds, showers, thunderstorms, and at times periods of rain. And let's take a look at the National Hazards Map. Widespread heat advisories and heat warnings. You can see along the I-95 corridor in the Northeast. You can see it continues back here across much of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, even down into portions of the South, portions of Texas, and again in the Southwest. This is a truly historically hot summer, which is unfolding right now. We do have those severe thunderstorm watches up in the Northeast. Some places already have warnings. There's a flash flooding threat up in parts of New England. Let's do a little quick tour of radar. First off, look down here in Florida. We do have this just very disorganized system that has multiple areas of rain. We have one northeast of Orlando, Jacksonville. It's about to get wet for you. Down here in Miami, there's one headed towards you. And as you see down here in Cuba, radar is detecting as well. So a lot of blobs of showers and thunderstorms. New Orleans, you're getting some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. If we head out west, you can see from New Mexico on up through Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, Arizona, even up into Montana, we do have scattered showers this afternoon. Taking a look here in Iowa, we do have an area of rain and showers. And then we have this in the Northeast, this system, this shortwave, which is coming through, which is providing some severe storms. Let's go over to radar scope, because I want to show this to you. As you can see here, these yellow boxes, these are severe thunderstorms. So if you're in the path of these severe storms, now is the time to, start considering, maybe I'm not going to make that run to the grocery store right now. Maybe I'll wait till the line of storm passes, then it'll be more safe to do so. So from about New Hampshire, just west of Portsmouth, down into northeast Pennsylvania, you want to be especially mindful, and even in southeast Pennsylvania, because the severe thunderstorm watch just went up there as well. Alrighty, moving on now to air quality. We do have to talk about air quality, but there's some good news here. It has improved. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than what it has been. Out west is doing better than in the east. There are a few areas of really poor quality, especially in Oregon. In the east of the Mississippi, we do see moderate air qualities, but you're not seeing as many reds as you were seeing the past few days over the Great Lakes and the Northeast, which is some good news. So if you're in the sensitive group, someone who has asthma, like me, I'm someone who's an asthma sufferer, make sure you have your inhaler at the ready in case you need to use it. Alrighty, moving on to this. This is the Storm Prediction Center, and there's already been a storm report. I'm seeing here two tornado reports up in New Hampshire. That's not a good thing. So yes, there have been some storm reports already. I suspect there will be more because, as you saw, there are already severe thunderstorm warnings. Up here in the Midwest, we do have a severe weather threat, and there is a severe thunderstorm watch up now, and this is actually just got upgraded to an enhanced risk this afternoon. It was not an enhanced risk earlier. There is 2% tornado probabilities there, 5% tornado probabilities right on the edge of Boston, in through portions of northern Connecticut, New Hampshire, extreme southeast Vermont, and southern Maine, where the more populous region of Maine is. So that's something to be mindful. 30% wind probabilities up across portions of Minnesota and Wisconsin and the Michigan Panhandle Peninsula. And taking a look here in the Northeast, we do have this 15% area of wind potential. There is also a hail threat in the Wisconsin and Minnesota as well. That's at 30% too. So that's something you want to be mindful with that developing system. Day 2 outlook. You can see there is a slight risk from Iowa through to the Great Lakes, which includes Detroit and Chicago. So that's something to be mindful of. Small tornado potential. There is wind potential and hail potential. This could get upgraded to an enhanced risk tomorrow. And there's a large marginal risk for Saturday. I think this will get upgraded to a slight risk because there's going to be a cold front that's coming through and slice through the heat and humidity in the Northeast. Also a marginal risk in the central portions of the plains. Taking a look at the Weather Prediction Center for today, slight risk of excessive rainfall up in portions of the Northeast, marginal risk behind that, marginal risk in the Four Corners region, and marginal risk in the Great Lakes region. Day 2, we have a big marginal risk in the Great Lakes region, and then again in the Four Corners region. And day 3, I think this will get upgraded to a slight risk, where I'm not precisely sure how far this will get upgraded to a slight risk, but where the cold front is, there is definitely potential for some flash flooding concerns, and that actually extends all the way back into portions of the Central Plains. Remember, this is a trough that's going to come down, so there could be shower and thunderstorm activity back there as well. Let's take a look at the tropics. That disturbance we've been watching in the Atlantic, it's now up to 40% chance of cyclone formation. We'll have to see if it becomes something. Taking a look at infrared satellite, here would be the disturbance right here, and eventually it's going to make its way further west and northwest, and incidentally, here's that big blob of just a mess of a system off the Florida coast, which is providing beneficial rainfall for that area. Moving on now, let's take a look at the RGM model for today, and you can see on the RGM model, we do have those showers and thunderstorms in the Northeast. We'll probably see some more form in southeast Pennsylvania. That will fill in a little bit more. And then we will continue to watch what's ongoing just west of the Great Lakes tonight in Michigan, Wisconsin. I do expect some showers and thunderstorms for you. And when I say Michigan, probably really late tonight. Like maybe pre-dawn hours tomorrow morning, some shower and thunderstorm activity will move into your area. Alright, advancing this a little bit further, we do have to take a look at tomorrow evening. Here's those showers and thunderstorms that set up across the Great Lakes tomorrow evening. That could indeed get upgraded to an enhanced risk. There could be multi-cell segments. There could be a few supercells. Training segments, flash flooding is a concern. And then as we advance this into Saturday, here comes the trough. It's going to slice through the Northeast, Pennsylvania, down through Maryland. And look behind us. You do get a training segment that also sets up in the Ohio Valley. So we'll have to watch this because I do think there is definitely a flash flood threat and a severe weather threat with this. Now the RGM model does do something interesting here. Look at this. It does have some more pop-up showers, maybe pop-up thunderstorms again on Sunday for places in the mid-Atlantic. South of the Mason-Dixon line, I think that's possible. North of the Mason-Dixon line, that remains a question mark whether that's going to actually occur at this time. Let's go over and take a look at the GFS now. And you'll see on the GFS, here comes the cold front that comes through the Northeast on Friday. Here's the rest of the United States. Not doing too bad in the West Coast. I mean, it's going to be hot, but again, it is going to be dry. I wish I had some precipitation for you so it could cool off, and so maybe you would not have drought concerns return. I know it was a super wet winter out there, but mind you, with the excessive extreme heat, evaporation does happen rather quickly. Now you can see here on the GFS, it does keep the activity south of the Mason-Dixon line, but then we have to watch. Another system tries to come into play again on Monday morning, so we'll see what happens with that. Again, question marks from the Sunday afternoon into Monday time frame. But one thing that is for sure, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in the Northeast, and maybe even beyond, is going to be much less hot and much less humid. Then later on next week we have to watch. The ridge is going to try and build again. and that as that ridge tries to build northward, the heat could also attempt to build northward again as well. And the next severe weather threat, at least for the Northeast, and maybe even the upper Midwest, is going to be Thursday into Friday. So we'll have to watch that system. And behind that, as of right now, things are not looking all too active. We actually may come to a quieter pattern, with exceptions to the south. Remember that big ball of a mess we were watching? There may be another system like that that sets up and provides clouds, showers, and thunderstorm activity for many days at a time. But hey, we're now pretty far out there in model world. Anything over 200 hours, take it with a grain of salt. Let's take a look at the European for temperatures, shall we? And you can see here on the European, the hot weather continues for just a couple more days in the Northeast. The rest of the country, it does stay rather hot. Look at this on Friday. Very hot across the country. Saturday, it continues. But then on Sunday, we do see some relief for some areas. Like Virginia on northward, the Ohio Valley, north of the Ohio Valley, we do see relief. Even in the northern plains. But the extreme deep south, it just continues to be hot for day after day. And eventually that ridge is going to build back north, like I showed you on the GFS. The European does have it as well, but it is a little more delayed in doing so. And the European tries to make another nice day for the Northeast on Wednesday, and maybe perhaps Thursday, though at that point, I think it's going to start to get noticeably warmer. Then we have to watch that system that comes through late next week. After that system comes through, guess what? Another trough in the Northeast, but look down south. Dallas, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, Oklahoma City, extremely hot conditions are going to continue for you. Let's take a look at the drought watch here. You can see on the drought monitor, we do still have drought concerns for portions of the Midwest. Texas, this is getting worse. Pacific Northwest, it's getting worse. I'm concerned California is going to start to get bad again too. Even though it was such a wet winter, it is showing signs of coming back. Pennsylvania, we'll have to watch. Some of this may get eradicated with this next cold front, as we do see more showers and thunderstorms with that. Alright, moving on now to the precipitation totals. Days 1 through 7. You can see here, across the portions of the Great Lakes, we do have some areas of heavier precipitation expected. That's from the multiple systems today, tomorrow, and again on Saturday. And Friday as well. With those systems, there will be some isolated incidences of flash flooding. Same thing up in the Northeast. Texas, bone dry for you. Florida, we're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain. There could be localized 3 inches plus in some locations. And up in the Rockies and the Four Corners region, we are starting to note that there will be continued wetness for a few days. The West Coast, like right on the Pacific Coast, look at this. Bone dry for you. Alrighty, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Well above average in the south, below average in portions of the Rockies, but you go to the Pacific Northwest and it's above average. Slightly below average in the Northeast, and we do agree with that, as we do see potential for temperatures to be cooler from Sunday through maybe even Wednesday now. If the European is onto something, then we're going to see a brief warm-up in the Northeast, but that will be short-lived because another trough's going to come in, and when we come to the 8 to 14 day outlook, look at this. From the northern plains all the way to the Northeast, below average temperatures? Yes, that's true. And look at this. The peak of the heat in the south now will be over Florida. It's still going to be hot over Texas and well above average, but maybe just ever so slightly better, and all the West Coast is going to be above average temperatures. And now let's take a look at precipitation. Slightly above average in the Northeast, well above average with a maximum over Idaho, slightly below average in the south, slightly below average over the Great Lakes, and on the 8 to 14 day outlook, below average over the Great Lakes, below average in the Four Corners region, and then we have this above average region over Idaho once again, and that snakes its way down to the East Coast and the Northeast. Alrighty folks, that does it for today's climate update. We'll have another climate update again tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. If you know anyone who's looking to see a daily weather forecast, or daily climate update, you've hit the right place. Just share this video with them and send them to my channel. See you all again next time, and thanks for watching. Stay cool, everyone.